More pro athletes' homes are getting robbed when they go to their basketball games or while they're out of town. Check it out.
Tonight, 2 NBA players may also be victims of a trend of home burglaries targeting pro athletes while they were away at games. In October, Kansas City Chiefs Patrick Mahomes and Travis Kelce's multi-million-dollar mansions were hit during their October 7th game against the New Orleans Saints. Now police are investigating whether the same group targeted NBA players.
Mike Conley!
Minnesota Timberwolves point guard Mike Conley Jr. in September and Milwaukee Bucks forward Bobby Portis Jr. just weeks ago.
While I was at my game yesterday, I had a home invasion and they took most of my prized possessions.
Portis taken to Instagram after capturing 2 masked men on the surveillance video breaking into his home, asking his more than 300,000 followers to listen to the robbers' voices for potential clues.
I am now offering a $40K cash reward for any information or tips that leads to the return of my stolen items.
The police chief involved in Portis' case telling WISN 12 News on Friday there are striking similarities between all 4 burglaries, adding that his department is in touch with investigators from each state and the FBI.
Obviously, it's frustrating, it's disappointing. But I can't get into too many of the details because the investigation is still ongoing.
In all 4 burglaries, no one was home. Local authorities tell us they are all investigating and would not release further information at this time. NBC News also reached out to the FBI for comment on the potential connection. We have yet to hear back.
Criminals are getting more sophisticated. They are targeting higher end individuals. So when you used to say, well, this only happens in, based off of proximity, it doesn't anymore. And so, with the advent of the internet and social media and people knowing your schedule and they know your salary, they know where you live and all of this stuff. Now, high multi-million-dollar athletes' homes are being targeted where you used to feel comfortable because that's the reason why you went and lived in a certain community or a certain area or a certain gated place. It's disrespectful. It's disrespectful. You know what the worst part about this is that I've seen people say, well, they can get it back. No, don't touch stuff that's not yours. Anyways, in addition to that, Coca Cola launched an AI-generated ad over the weekend for the holidays, and people absolutely hate it. Check it out.
One of the most iconic brands ringing in the holiday season. But take a closer look at the new Coca Cola commercial and you might notice that it was made with artificial intelligence. Social media certainly caught whiff.
It shows how lifeless that Christmas commercial is.
It was supposed to be a reimagination of the iconic Holidays Are Coming campaign from 1995.
That's crazy.
But nearly 30 years later, the beverage behemoth now facing backlash for taking the real people and the cheer out of the holidays.
Coca-Cola just put out an ad and ruined Christmas and their entire brand.
It's less festive, more creepy holiday vibes.
Coca-Cola's just the latest company to serve generative AI to its consumers. In June, Toys R Us teamed up with OpenAI's Sora to produce this commercial, saying the program allowed the company to tell this incredible story with remarkable speed and efficiency. But the reaction?
It all just felt really creepy.
Why do you think companies are just toying around so much with AI in this moment?
Well, it's a push for marketing efficiency, right? How do we create more with less? I mean, that's sort of, business 101.
I don't know if y'all know, but it's coming. And while people is complaining about it on TikTok and Instagram, it really doesn't matter because the people who's being targeted by some of these ads. So for example, if Toys R Us is targeting children, I don't think that they really gonna sit there and say, is that AI? No, they're looking for marketing efficiency. So how can they drive down the cost of being able to have an effective ad campaign and marketing while still being able to get a similar response out to the people? Now, the thing that these companies are going to have to figure out is how do you do it with the right demographic, not just jump into it and not expect some level of backlash. You see what I'm saying? So if you are targeting a specific demographic or during a certain time, you want to integrate it slowly, or you want to make sure that it doesn't create so much backlash to where the visibility is all negative and people is talking negatively about it. So for example, you can do some of the animations and stuff like that with AI, but then it doesn't cost you a lot to do some shots with some people that just do like this with a beverage. You see what I'm saying? It's like these companies are not situationally aware and they're not in touch with the people. And so you have to have both. You have to have a hybrid solution while people are getting used to and adjusting to the new method in which things are being produced. So that you can also say, well, no, this is not completely AI, this is animation, right? You don't want to throw the label on everything because then it's going to be oversaturated and it's going to be problematic and it's going to create for you negative buzz. So you just have a hybrid approach that ultimately allows for you to still have the same impact, but it doesn't have the negative response that goes along with it. It's stupid. These people are, it's almost like, who are running these companies, yo?
Behind the scenes, companies are ramping up AI use too. Yum Brands, the parent company behind Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, and KFC, has reportedly started testing promotional emails written by AI. In an interview with the Wall Street Journal, Yum exec Joe Parks said it allows the company to engage each customer with the relevant offers at the right time. Park adding the company's early trials have already bumped up engagement and boosted sales.
Right, so if you're doing email campaigns, then using some form of AI could be beneficial to you. If you're running a TV ad or you're about to run a Super Bowl ad, you probably want to have some type of hybrid solution.
But for Coca Cola, it's their on-screen choice to generate the holiday spirit with computers that fizzled out and fell flat with consumers.
And we should mention, we did reach out to Coca Cola, Toys R Us, and Yum Brands for comment. We haven't gotten a response from them, but experts say this is a big test for AI ads. We'll also remember the Apple ad from earlier this year where it had that compressor that was crushing the arts.
That didn't go over well.
So it's coming no matter what, and people are they're figuring out better ways to use AI to ultimately create a better situation. But this is real, and it's something that I personally want to see myself. I'm sure Rita wants to see it, but this is real. This is the Trump Tower in New York to cover up the construction that they are doing as far as Louis Vuitton's new. They're actually doubling the space that they have over in New York, and it's Louis Vuitton's United States headquarters that they're expanding. And so while they're there and they have a temporary store, this is the display that they had across the world, but now it's coming to New York, and it's absolutely awesome in my opinion.
Check this out for myself, this next story. The towering trunk has taken up residence on Fifth Avenue. Actually a snazzy solution to hide construction that's been going on at Louis Vuitton's flagship store.
News 4's Gus Rosendale went to take a look. He's live outside the store with reaction. Gus?
Well, David, Natalie, an in-house design team came up with this. If you're to buy an actual trunk, it would cost you between $35,000 and $65,000, which is pretty much a car. Not clear how much all this costs or how long it's going to be around. All packed up, but with nowhere to go, at least for a while.
No, I think it's very impressive looking, and it looks really nice on Fifth Avenue.
Now, that's how you advertise. That's how you keep the people engaged, and you have a hybrid solution for a problem instead of having a whole bunch of scaffolding around the building. That's how you get an ad, and you continue to get people engaged.
Did it lure you in to make a purchase?
Absolutely.
A luggage pileup at the corner of 57th Street and Fifth Avenue. You look across the Fifth Avenue here, you see all these trunks.
I know, right?
Yeah, I think that they should make that permanent.
Well, you know,
too.
women.
That would be a sweet building.
Never one this big. Louis Vuitton is in the process of doubling the size of its U.S. flagship store and is out turning huge versions of its signature item to cover up the big construction project. You walk up, you see this for the first time, and what was going through your mind?
It's nice. It's very good. Beautiful. My wife, you like it. You want to go inside?
The luxury brand's owner, LVMH, did something similar recently with a top-to-bottom redesign of the Tiffany's flagship store across the street. And turning to massive luggage is not without precedent. The company announced plans for this huge trunk facade at its store in Paris last year. But that's the city of light.
I feel like I'm in Paris.
While New York often seems a city of scaffolding. But no question, there's sometimes a fashionable difference when it pops up on Fifth Avenue. Would it make you go inside the store and spend some money? The stuff in there is not cheap.
I would love to. It's our 10-year anniversary, So I said this was the surprise for me, you know.
Good luck, sir.
Yeah.
You're editing it there.
Thank you, Louis Vuitton.
Yeah, that's sick. That's absolutely awesome. I got to go see that myself. That's not a hotel. It's a the one in Paris is it's a construction site too. Yeah, but it's still temporary, I believe. But that's what their construction sites look like. They make them in the trunks. They should make that junk permanent. Unless the store is going to be like another trunk or something like that, a sweeter trunk, they should make that permanent.